Be the change you want to see in the world. This adage holds true for Savita Tai, a resident and an inspiration of change in the Ambedkar Nagar slum of Pune. Savita Tai lives in one of the smallest houses in one of the most dense slums of Pune. But this did not dampen her will to build a household-level toilet. She used the space for the staircase to construct a toilet.
I had a very small house, but still I constructed a toilet inside. Once I get old, who will take me to the community toilet? And that is why I constructed a toilet inside the house. I recommend this to everyone.
स्वच्छ भारत का इरादा इरादा कर लिया हमने देश से अपने ये वादा कर लिया हमने स्वच्छ भारत का इरादा कर लिया हमने देश से अपने ये वादा कर लिया हमने
स्वच्छ भारत का इरादा कर लिया हमने.
Pune, housing a population of 32 lakh people, is the 8th largest city in India and one of the fastest growing cities in the country. It is known as a major IT, automobile and engineering hub and as a premier educational hub in our country. Around 40% of the people in the city reside in slums. Nearly 70% of these slum households did not have individual household toilets.
My name is Vijaya Gulab Alhat. I have 2 daughters, and prior to this we used to eat less food in the evening in order to avoid going in the open for defecation. We used to feel afraid to go out in the dark.
बाहर जाते थे, खुला में जाते थे पहले, फिर बाद में सार्वजनिक बनाया, उसमें जाने लगे, उधर यूज करने लगे, फिर रात को 11 बजे 10 बजे बंद हो जाता था, फिर रात को भी होते थे तो खुलने में जाना पड़ता था.
Our situation was very critical before. We used to go in the open to defecate. This is our public toilet. There is a lot of crowd as there are only 4 seats. This was built later. Earlier, we used to go behind. We used to walk through knee-level muck and shards of glass. When young girls used to go for defecation, there would be a risk of young men watching them.
I'm Kunal Kumar. I'm the Municipal Commissioner at Pune. I've been working here for the last 2 years. We've had a lot of experimentations in the field of sanitation and the solid waste management, and one of them, which has been very successful, has been the One Home, One Toilet initiative. And we've worked with the shelter associates on this project. See, a lot of us believe that toilets is more about construction. Toilets is more about providing each house with a toilet. I think it's more than that. It's basically a livelihood game. It's basically about creating more happy communities. It's about engaging with communities and making them realize the importance of the sanitation aspect in their life. And then it's very important that you work with partners for that. And citizen engagement, community engagement is a very key aspect. I think there is the role of the NGO, which is very important.
Our sanitation journey really began in 2000 in Pune itself, when we engaged with the local government for the first time in building community toilets for slum dwellers. As we progressed, we got opportunities to experiment with different kinds of solutions. For instance, in the city of Sangli, where we did a project between 2005 and 2007, for the first time we could experiment with individual sanitation as well as shared sanitation. What was very heartening about individual sanitation was that even 4 or 5 years down the line, when we revisited the projects, we found that people not just maintained their toilets, but they actually upgraded them. And what struck us was that there was already a huge need for individual sanitation in urban areas, but the governments had not figured out how to deliver that. By 2013, Shelter had developed a model which we called One Home, One Toilet, which was based on all these years of experience. And we had the opportunity to launch it formally in 2013 because we had won 2 major grants that year.
After launching this model, Shelter covered 311 settlements by mapping the infrastructure in the slums through GIS or Geographic Information Systems. This mapping included drainage lines, water connections, road network, solid waste management, toilets, and other demographic details. Every house in the slum was given a number, and the details were captured through a software tool. The analysis of this data showed that Pune had an exceptionally high coverage of sewer network. Almost 90% of the slums have sewer connections. This gave way to build individual toilets in the city.
One home, one toilet model essentially has three primary steps. First is putting all the data, and I mean spatial data, in place using GIS and remote sensing technology. This way, you get to know exactly where the gaps in delivery of sanitation exist at a household level too. You also know where sewerage networks exist, where they don't, what needs to be laid, what needs to be augmented or cleaned. So there's a whole lot of data that is created. The second step in our model is getting communities involved right from day one. So we involve communities often in even gathering this data. We run a lot of workshops, focus group discussions with children, with women, with the youth, with even the men. So there's an intense involvement because we believe that unless communities are central to the process, we cannot have a successful project. And the third step in this model is the delivery of sanitation on a cost-sharing basis. We believe that the buy-in of the stakeholders is extremely important. And the buy-in should also be financial. So in this model, we deliver material at their doorstep that is required to build a toilet, and they invest in the construction, and obviously they monitor it very well because it's being built in their house. And so the quality at the end of the day is very, very good.
For engagement with the communities, the first step is to involve the councillors by conducting the first meeting in the slum with them. The process is explained to the councillors in this meeting. This is followed by workshops within the community. The analyzed results of the mapping exercise is shown to them. Next, committees are formed in the slums which can engage with the local government. In Pune, there are samitis in each of the slums where Shelter is working. These samitis engage with the Mohalla Samiti at the ward level by putting forth their issues in the meetings. Then, interested individuals sign an undertaking wherein it is stated that all the material given to the beneficiary will be used only for toilet construction, and the material should be consumed in 1 week's time. The total cost of building the toilet is pegged between 18,000 to 20,000 rupees. 70% of this amount was earlier borne by the funder, mainly through CSR or corporate social responsibility. This amount was for the purchase of construction material. The remaining 30% of this cost was borne by the beneficiary household and covered the cost of the masonry work. Since the launch of the Swachh Bharat mission, the PMC is giving a subsidy of 18,000 for every household for construction of the toilet.
There is a myth that community toilets are cheaper than individual toilets, but we have been able to bust that also.
A typical 10-seat toilet costs 20 to 22 lakhs and caters to 100 families. In Pune, the ULB gives a subsidy of 18,000 to build an individual toilet. So the cost to PMC for building individual toilets for 100 families would be 18 lakhs. The maintenance cost of a community toilet keeps increasing year after year, whereas for individual toilets, the cost of maintenance to PMC is nil. To give an idea, the Pune Municipal Corporation is spending 25 to 30 crores annually on sheer maintenance of community toilets.
Pune model has been very successful, largely because the administrative head was able to leverage the strengths of all the stakeholders involved. As an NGO, we came in with an extremely sustainable, scalable, and a replicable model. But our strength was not scaling. So he knew that if he had to scale this, he should really get people whose core competence was construction to be involved in this. And so when he approached the builders and contractors and got them to be involved in this entire process, he was able to really scale this.
Our commissioner has given all the freedom needed. As part of the power delegated to us by the municipal commissioner, we have the freedom to appoint the contractor at our level. And because of this, whoever contractors were interested in building individual toilets were appointed by us on the basis of their financial capacities. This delegation of powers has immensely helped us.
Proud to say that we've built the maximum number of individual toilets under the Swachh Bharat mission. To date, we have completed more than 20,000 toilets in the last 2 years after the Swachh Bharat mission was launched, and we're very proud of that. I think it's been possible because of the flexibility in the way we have approached this issue.
This model has been rolled out in 5 cities of Maharashtra. Also, the model has worked in different typologies, be it a slum located on a hill or on the bank of the river. Shelter Associates, along with the Pune Municipal Corporation, has successfully provided toilets to communities. So the model is extremely replicable and can be scaled up across the nation.
I built this toilet. After that, I built this wall, then bought this TV and washing machine and installed a fan and 2 tube lights. And now I have painted the house, which is worth 4,000 rupees. All of this just because of this toilet.
Our young daughters faced boys and drunk people who used to wave at them. Many such inappropriate incidences have taken place. After that, this orderly construction of toilet has made everything better.
अभी अच्छा है, रात को कितने बजे उठो या दिन के करो, बाहर जाने का टेंशन नहीं, लड़के को किधर भेजने का टेंशन नहीं, और बाहर गई तो भी टेंशन नहीं कि कभी आएगी, कितने टाइम लगेगा, वो भी हमारे को टेंशन नहीं. अभी घर में है तो अच्छा है.
The key takeaways from the Pune model are: the presence of drainage network in the city has been a boon for the initiative. An extensive database through mapping has been the key to the success of this initiative. The model involved all the stakeholders and brought in the expertise of each. The flexibility and the decentralization in decision-making made possible by the Commissioner helped in scaling and fast-tracking the project. Involvement of the communities right from the beginning has helped in building trust and applying a demand-driven approach. Looping in the local councillors has given the necessary political backing to the initiative. The model has great scope to be replicated across different categories of cities, be it Class 1 or Class 4.
स्वच्छ भारत का इरादा इरादा कर लिया हमने देश से अपने ये वादा कर लिया हमने स्वच्छ भारत का इरादा कर लिया हमने देश से अपने ये वादा कर लिया हमने.
स्वच्छ भारत का इरादा कर लिया हमने देश से अपने ये वादा कर लिया हमने.
स्वच्छ भारत का इरादा कर लिया हमने देश से अपने ये वादा कर लिया हमने.
हमसे निकलेगी स्वच्छता की एक नदी छल 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 कल 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 एक धुली सी जिंदगी. स्वच्छता की जोत लेकर घर घर जाए